Hey everybody, welcome to another deep dive, and this one is going to be incredible. We're talking about the one and only Quincy Jones, who sadly just passed away, but man, what a life, what a legacy he left behind. I'm diving into a couple of articles here, one from People and another from the Associated Press, and honestly, I knew he was a big deal, but the more I read, the more I realized I had no idea how deep his impact ran.
Yeah, it's really something else. Most people know him for a few big things. Producing Michael Jackson, of course, or the theme from Sanford and Son, or that incredible We Are the World song. But when you start to really look at his career, you see how he was kind of this common thread through like so much of music history.
Yeah, totally. And it's not just one genre either. We're talking jazz, pop, film scores. I mean, he
Yeah.
even produced for Frank Sinatra. So for someone like me who's not a musician,
Sure.
what makes Quincy Jones stand out as a producer? Like, what was it about his work that was so special?
Well, you could think of it like this. A good producer doesn't just record music. They actually like shape the music. In Quincy Jones, he had this incredible knack for bringing out the best in artists, but also adding his own magic touch. Like take Thriller, for example. I mean, that album wasn't just a hit because of Michael Jackson's talent. Jones brought in Eddie Van Halen for that insane guitar solo on Beat It. No one saw that coming. And then there's Vincent Price, like the horror movie icon, doing the narration on the title track.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. It's like he was a master chef or something,
Yeah.
taking all these unexpected ingredients and blending them into something totally new
Yeah,
and amazing.
exactly. He wasn't afraid to experiment or to cross genres and always pushing boundaries. And that's what made his sound so unique.
It's like with We Are the World. How do you even begin to think about getting all those people in one room? Bob Dylan, Billy Joel,
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder, and Bruce Springsteen. Like,
It's crazy,
Yeah.
right? And it really shows you what an incredible ability he had to connect with people, to build that trust, to inspire collaboration. He wasn't just a producer. He was like a visionary, someone who could rally people around this shared purpose.
And it wasn't just music, was it? I mean, he was the first black musical director for the Academy Awards. He produced The Color Purple. He even built his own whole media empire.
Exactly. I mean, Quincy Jones wasn't just this musician. He was like this cultural force, breaking down racial barriers, becoming this incredibly successful businessman, and just always pushing the boundaries of what was possible.
And it's especially amazing when you think about where he came from. I was reading that his childhood was really tough, growing up in poverty, even getting involved with gangs in Chicago.
Yeah, his early life was definitely challenging. But there's this story about him finding a piano when he was just 11 years old. It's almost like a movie. He realized right then and there that music was his escape. It was his path forward.
Wow. You really see that resilience throughout his career. He didn't let those early hardships define him. He used them to create something incredible.
Absolutely. He was a master of adapting to new situations, overcoming obstacles, turning those experiences into something positive. And I think this quote from Quincy Jones really captures it perfectly. He said, "There was music and there was the music business. If I were to survive, I would have to learn the difference between the two."
So he knew the art, but he also knew the hustle.
Exactly. He understood the complexities of the music industry, but he never lost sight of his artistic vision. And that's a crucial lesson for anyone who wants to make a lasting impact in any creative field.
Makes you wonder, though, did he have any, like, mentors, people he looked up to? Because it sounds like he was really blazing his own trail.
Yeah, he definitely had some figures, especially in the jazz world, early on who influenced him. But I think what's really interesting is that he seemed to learn from everyone he met, not just musicians, but businessmen, everyday people. He was like this sponge for knowledge, always soaking up new ideas and new perspectives.
And he wasn't afraid to share that knowledge either, right? Think about all the artists he mentored and helped over the years.
Yeah, that's a huge part of his legacy. This way, he just lifted other people up.
Yeah.
And helped them reach their potential. We were talking about The Color Purple before, and that movie wasn't just a success. It actually launched the careers of Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Goldberg. He had this incredible eye for talent and this genuine desire to create opportunities for others.
Yeah. It's almost like his fingerprints are everywhere you look. Like I was reading, he was even involved with bringing the Fresh Prince of Bel Air to TV.
Wow.
Can you imagine a world without that show?
It's mind-blowing when you start connecting the dots. It really shows you how Quincy Jones wasn't just a behind-the-scenes guy. He was like this cultural architect, shaping the entertainment landscape in ways we're still feeling today.
But okay, let's get back to his music for a minute. You were talking about how he blended genres
Yeah.
and pushed boundaries. How did he actually do that? What were some of his, like, signature techniques?
One of the things that made him so unique was his ability to take this jazz sensibility and bring it into pop music. He understood how to create these complex arrangements
Right.
that were still catchy and
So
accessible.
it's not just about, like, throwing a trumpet solo into a pop song.
No, not at all. It's about understanding harmony and rhythm and orchestration on this really deep level. He could take a simple melody and turn it into something so rich and layered, full of these unexpected twists and turns.
And he didn't just produce either, right? He composed scores for over 35 films.
Right.
That's a whole other level of musical mastery.
Yeah, he was truly a master storyteller, but through music. And his film scores were just as groundbreaking as his pop productions. I mean, he could create these atmospheres of suspense, romance, drama, just using instruments. Like, think about the haunting score for In Cold Blood, or the iconic theme from The Pawnbroker. He could evoke emotions and tell stories without saying a single word.
There's a quote from him about film scoring that I thought was so cool. He said, "It's a multifaceted process, an abstract combination of science and soul."
That's perfect. It really sums up his entire approach to music. He was deeply technical, but always infused his work with so much heart and emotion. He understood the science of sound, but never lost sight of the soul.
It's interesting, though. Even with all the success and the acclaim, his life wasn't without its complexities. We talked about his disagreements
Yeah.
with Michael Jackson's estate over royalties. That must have been a difficult period.
Yeah, it definitely was. And it shows a side of the music industry that isn't always so glamorous. There can be conflict, misunderstandings, even legal battles, even among people who have accomplished amazing things together.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that we're talking about real people with real feelings. It's not always just about the music.
Right. It's important to acknowledge that. It definitely adds complexity to the story, but it doesn't take away from their achievements.
Yeah, it really makes you think about legacy, like what we leave behind and the impact we have on others. And with Quincy Jones, it goes way beyond music, doesn't it?
No question about it, his dedication to philanthropy and social justice was a huge part of his life. He was a tireless advocate for the causes he believed in, using his platform to raise awareness and make a real difference in the world.
Yeah, I read that he was involved with fighting HIV and AIDS, supporting education initiatives, working to alleviate poverty. It seems like he was always striving to make the world a better place.
He really did believe in the power of giving back. And he had this incredible ability to bring people together, to inspire them to act. Remember that quote we talked about?
Yeah.
About using fame and celebrity to help others? Well, he really lived by those words.
It's pretty inspiring, to be honest, to see someone achieve so much and still remain so grounded, so committed to making a positive impact. It makes you realize that success isn't just about awards. It's about using your gifts to uplift other people.
And I think that's one of the biggest lessons we can learn from Quincy Jones. It's not just about the music or the films or the awards. It's about the way he lived his life, the values he embodied, the impact he had on the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Quincy Jones's incredible life, what would you say is the one thing you hope our listener takes away from all of this?
That's a good question. I think it's the idea that one person can truly make a difference. Quincy Jones showed us that. With passion, dedication, and a belief in yourself, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. And you can use your success to lift up others and make the world a brighter place.
I love that. He really was a force of nature, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
And his legacy will continue to inspire generations to come.
Without a doubt.
Well, thank you so much for taking this deep dive with us. It's been a privilege exploring the life and legacy of Quincy Jones. And to our listener, thank you for joining us on this journey. Quincy Jones's story is a testament to the power of music, the importance of giving back, and the incredible potential that lies within each of us. Keep that music playing and keep chasing those dreams.